Good afternoon. How are we all doing? Afternoon, Jerry, John, Baggy, Francesco, Crum, Kennelly, George. It's time. Brian, Steve, Peter, Robert, Fletch. Did I not say Lucy already? No, fine. Tizzy's trading. That's good. Afternoon, Emac. How are we all doing? So banked 0.6 today. Odd CAD this morning. Got out of that. H1 M5 mean reversion entry from Friday. And I closed out someone else. Aussie US. So all about the Aussie today. Aussie US, pretty much the same trade. Aussie CAD, Aussie US, same thing really, isn't it? Basically. So yeah, out of those two, they're both mean reverting at the moment off of ADR. Well, Aussie US is coming off of ADR. So is Aussie CAD. Same thing. Same doing. All doing the same thing. Afternoon, Virginia. Evil. So yeah, bank those two. I had an out on the Euro Swiss this morning. I didn't take it. So I took the aggressive drawdown control position off on Friday and did some DD control with some of that to bring the average down. And obviously the average is really close. So we've just hit ADR today. We've come off of ADR. But this Swiss franc's really weak today across the board. And we're well overdue some euro strength. So I'm trying hard to hold on to it. I had an exit with 0.5% there. But I'm holding on to see if we can get a push up to 150 ADR. If we get up to there today, I will get out. I mean, that's obviously where I'm expecting it to get to at some point, but I'm not going to hold it that long because it might not get there. But yeah, holding it at the minute. So got Euro Swiss on. Pound US dollar, I'm still in. Not really going anywhere, Pound US. We're kind of a little bit stuck. So yeah, not really going anywhere with that at all today. And New Zealand dollar CAD, I'm in as well in profit. Was toying with the idea of taking that off at ADR today as well, but decided to hold on to it. Not sure what's happening with these US and CAD pairs. So it's a really nice strong push. We've got another propulsion gap to the upside. So if we do get up to there today, around about 125 ADR into that propulsion gap, or even better if we come up and test these highs, I'll probably take that off as well. But then I'm flat. Nothing's setting up. So yeah. Nice trades on the opening range breakout this morning. So the ORB 5-minute range was there. So if you took the ORB short, you got stopped out and flipped long and got a nice trade. If you took the pre-market, 5, you got whipsawed. But if you took the 10/15, which is what I took here, got triggered short, stopped out on the short, flipped long, 2 nice profits out of that. So yeah, out of that one, that was all right. Nothing to write home about today. But yeah, flat. So we've had quite a few ADR hits today, which we'll go through. RSI's not a massive amount, so struggling to get into stuff this week. Non-farm payroll week this week. We've got no news today. We've had the CPI flash for the year for the euro, which has not really done a lot. It is positive, which is good. But I think we're going to wait until the Aussie rates out the way tomorrow, and then we'll probably get the market started tomorrow moving on the US pairs, basically. But nothing's... we've got some ADRs to look at, but nothing is really moving. So we're getting intraday movement, but no longer-term movement, which is why the RSIs are a little flat at the minute. But we'll have a look at those as well in a sec. We've got 3 minutes to the open. Afternoon, day trader, FX, XRUpdate.news. Gordy, Stevie, JC, afternoon. So looking at the Dow this morning. Dow, I need to get my platform up. I've gone the NASDAQ as well today. Doing great. So the Dow basically today, we've had a bit of a push up. So from the Globex session, we had a push down, we've pushed up. So you can see the whole rally since the market opened in Frankfurt, which is there. We've had a nice rally up today. So up across the board, basically on the US indices. So all had a nice rally today. So good movement to the upside. But we'll see where we go at the open. There's no earnings to worry about. So Friday, whoops, that was Friday. So Friday was all pre-market earnings. So they will have had their reactions in the afternoon on Friday. Today, the only pre-market we've had today is Arista Networks. So and Arista, I think, are NASDAQ. Not sure, but doesn't look like they've had pretty good earnings. But so there's nothing really stock-wise that's going to move. So we'll see what happens with these at the open. But Dow upside potential today is last week's high, which is last Thursday. So this is Friday's high. That's last Thursday's high. That is ADR. So that's easily achievable today. Downside, yes, Friday's low and previous day's low is ADR down. So we are bang in the middle of potential ADR average daily movements, straight up, straight down today. So it's obviously rallied strong. Look, on the hourly, we've had nothing but movement to the upside today. It looks like it's starting to roll over a little bit now. But yeah, really equidistant moves to the upside and downside today. So a lot of pre-market movement coming in. That's a big pre-market candle, look. Wow. Big sell-off. We've got 30 seconds to the open. They're dumping it. Big style. Good. Fed's talking. What? Literally, the Fed is talking 1 minute before market open. That's clever, isn't it? Talk about trying to make the market volatile at the open. Okay. So there's your open in. So I'm looking at taking the 5-minute opening ranges today, but we'll see what the opening ranges are. I'm not going to take pre-markets. Wow, that Dow is absolutely collapsing. I'd give this 5 minutes to settle. Very volatile open. That's basically the Fed talking just before the open. Look, so Goolsby basically. Where is he talking? But yeah, start talking about the markets literally 5 minutes before the open. Good one. What do you expect to happen? Afternoon, Astro. So we'll have a look at the ADRs and the RSIs in a minute. Just wait for this 5-minute range to go in. But pretty volatile at the open. George, question. What website have I just checked? Where they talk? That's Financial Juice. FinancialJuice.com. Okay, so Dow is testing the... it's not really testing anything, actually. Got the wrong chart up there, that's why. No, I thought that was testing the Globex lows, but it's not. So ignore that. Okay, sitting up at yesterday's high on the S&P and on the NASDAQ. Now we're in the middle of nowhere. Looks like it's rejected the shorts. Looks like it wants to go long today. That is a big volatile open today. Go anywhere. I'd leave that and wait. It's look a little bit crazy today. Not helped that the open. Not really said anything impactful either. So other news today. Basically, Coinbase is in trouble. Crypto's in trouble again. And the only other news we've had this morning is the CPI from the Eurozone, which we kind of knew anyway. So yeah, nothing much else going on news-wise today. All this just mere business as usual. So, and there's no other news forecast, so nothing to worry about news-wise. Okay, big rejection to the downside on the DAX. So there's your 5-minute opening range. We got 1 minute to go, but fairly big ranges so far. Oof. NASDAQ just sold off really hard. Wow, this is big volatile today. I don't know why it's so volatile. Weird. There's no earnings. Market's going into freefall by those things, but we'll see. Okay, you've got 30 seconds. This is really jittery at the minute. These ranges are all far too big. Don't like the look of any of these today. S&P, otherwise ranges are very big today. Just outside 20% of their ranges, so hard to see if we're going to get any volume that's going to be able to move this today, but we'll see. Dow's looking to go long on 5-minute ORB. There's your break. The upside, just trying. NASDAQ hasn't managed to break yet, neither is the S&P. So long on the Dow. See if we can get a run to the upside. So if the Dow is breaking high, your upside target is obviously 187. So basically ADR, if we're going to be able to break high. Go for bash. Rejected the high. A minute. See where that goes. Afternoon, Michael. Right, let's have a look at ADRs and everything while we're waiting for that to settle down. So I'm just going to try one short on the NASDAQ as well. Struggling to make new highs, the S&P and the NAS getting pushed back down. Dow's also getting hammered as well. If that breaks that low, I'm going to go short on the NASDAQ. Basically the S&P trade. Same thing. Right, ADRs. So let's do RSIs first because there's only 3 of them to look at. And as you can see, 2 of those are the same thing, which is the Aussie yen and the New Zealand yen. So we've got ADR hits to the upside on these two. RSI hits to the upside, just above the 70 level. So not that massively extended, but they are extended. Big, strong push, big, strong move. We've not had a profit take at all from this low on Friday. It's literally bought up, or rather, the yen's been selling off literally since kind of London, pretty much. So 2 solid days, pretty much, of downward movement on the yen. So that's coming up to a nice potential resistance, Aussie yen, which is last week's high, which is 175 ADR. So anywhere around here, good opportunity for a short, at least for a pullback. If they're going to continue to weaken the yen, they should at least pull back before they do another rally at some point. So looks like a good looking opportunity for a short. Drop down M5. You may have already had a reversal alert on this. So that high was there. No. Got one there. So you would have had an entry somewhere around there as an ADR to go short on this one, because it's 150 ADR hit as well. So that's nicely extended. New Zealand dollar yen is pretty much the same trade. As you can see, been rallying since Friday. Same thing, solid move upwards, not really stopped. So again, nice potential short opportunity on that one. Resistance isn't as good on this because we've already broken the levels from last week, but we've got this previous week's high coming up here in these propulsion gaps where we started this move to the downside. So there's good potential sell opportunities in there as well. There's going to be sellers sitting up there somewhere. So good looking opportunity for short on both of these, New Zealand yen and Aussie yen, but they're pretty much the same thing. They'll move together, so just take one or the other. The other one we've had is the Euro Swiss, which is what I'm in long on at the moment. ADR's just hit on US dollar CAD as well. We'll have a look at that in a sec. So that is extended to the upside only just. So kind of just about getting there, but looking for some strength in this euro to continue. We've had a good sort of push to the upside from Friday, but there's a lot of resistance to try and get higher. This is very wicky as we've been going up there. It's up, down, up, down, up, down all the time. So I was debating getting out of this, as I said this morning. I'm going to leave it because I'm expecting a pullback and then a continuation to try and come up and test some of these highs. So we should be getting more strength on this euro after the interest rates. So I think there's more movement to the upside on this, but it is an RSI extension to the upside. We've also had an ADR on it today as well. So there's your reverse alert to ADR. There's ADR. There's your reverse alert. So potentially might pull back, but then leg up. So scalp play to the downside. Okay, DAX has gone long. NASDAQ has gone long. On the, sorry, no, it hasn't. Scrap that. S&P's gone long. It's broken that 5 minutes. So we've got an inside bar there. So you haven't broken yet on the NASDAQ. Just going to cancel that NASDAQ short off. Dow, literally gone nowhere. So we've just put a nice big whippy 5 minute candle in. We've pushed up, no directional bias at all. This obviously got no directional bias because we're an inside bar on the open. Inside bar on the open on the S&P, and it's just trying to go long. So there's absolutely no direction at all yet today. Market can't get its act together at all. Holding this long on the Dow, just going to see if I can get movement up on that. Right, so there's your RSIs. Nothing exciting there at all, really. No 4 hours. We did have a 4 hour on the Aussie New Zealand this morning. That was extended on the 4 hour. Just about got extended on the 30 there on the 4 hour. It's pushed back up. So no entries there either. Load of rubbish today. ADRs, so lots of ADRs. These are all potential mean reversion opportunities, obviously. I much prefer to wait for RSIs, but these are all nice little scalp, intraday scalp plays. So Aussie CAD, is just pulling off of ADR now up here. So again, nice push down. So wait for it to get to ADR, drop down M5, wait for the reversal alert, which you've just had there. You will have had a reversal alert on that candle there. And then obviously it's pushed up, invalidated that high, and then you've got the second reversal alert there. So if you took the first one, you're in there. If you took the second one, you're in there. But that's your M pattern, or rather, that is your M pattern formation. So it looks like it's got a good opportunity to go short. Aussie dollar Swiss, same thing. This one's come up to almost just shy of 150 ADR. Really good strong push on Aussie dollar Swiss today. So we hit ADR. You got a reversal alert in here. There was your reversal alert. And then obviously we just sat around. We've pushed up. Second alert's gone in at 150 ADR. That's starting to come down now. So good potential short opportunity on that one. Aussie yen we've already looked at. New Zealand yen 175 ADR. Just seen that one's just got extended there. So Aussie yen we've just looked at. That is still going up towards 175. New Zealand dollar yen just hit 175. Still going. Just wait for the reversal. Wait for some signs of weakness to come through. Dow's broken the upside. We're out at the top of the Dow. So just watch this Globex high, which is at 35571. NASDAQ's out the high. S&P's just double topped with the Globex high. Oh, looking at my chart over here. Got one in front of me. Just double topped to the Globex high. I'm just watching this one because I've got a live trade on Dow. NASDAQ looks like it's trying to reject that high. Doesn't look like it's got any oomph today. Literally struggling to make any headway. So NASDAQ has broken out the high. We're tapping straight into last week's high at the moment. So you are long, though. We're long all indices this morning, this afternoon rather. So all three broken to the upside on the 5-minute opening range. See where we go. Okay, NASDAQ's just popped out the highs there. So is the S&P. We are running into, look, just running into sell orders up here. You'll hear it if you put tick strike on, you'll hear the sellers coming in, rather the absorption of the buyers. So constant buy orders going in, but we're not making any headway upwards, which means there's way more sellers than buyers. If we're just buying constantly with large orders in the market and we're not making any progress, eventually those buyers, like on the Dow, will just give up and drop back down again. Yeah, so just can't make any headway. Same on the S&P. Too many sellers there today. We'll see if we can get a run and we can get a sustained move and we can break these highs and hold above these highs. We might get a rally today. Really struggling there at the moment. Right, Aussie dollar yen we did. New Zealand dollar yen, pretty much the same thing. Aussie US. So that's come straight off of ADR. There's your ADR here. So straight into ADR, reversal alert. You've just had that high taken out. So the high has just literally been invalidated. And your next reversal alert is going to be there, basically, which is pretty much the same level. So that could be that second high. So I'm just going to I want to close this DOW out. I don't like it. So I'm just waiting to see if this finishes bullish or bearish. The reason I don't like this is every single index has got long wicks to the upside at the minute, and we are seeing like this thing just constantly pushing, and literally it cannot make any progress at all. At some point, like myself, everybody that's long on this is going to go, screw this, it's not working, and they're going to turn short. As soon as they turn short, this thing's going to come down fast and hard, like the NASDAQ is doing. There you go. There's a load of sell orders just came in there. Wait a sec. I've got 5 contracts long on the Dow, so every tick is $25. So you can imagine, you know, that's $600. Now it's 500. Now it's 550, 600, 700. $600. I'll take that. It's $2,300 on the day. This doesn't look like there's enough movement, enough buyers in the market today. We're struggling. There it goes now. Now I'm out, it goes. But you can hear it's just sellers coming in. So we've had loads of ticks coming into the upside. We've not made any progress. Now there's nothing but sellers coming in, and we are making movement to the downside. Yeah. So when the sellers are entering the market, we're getting down candles. Yeah. When the buyers are entering the market, we're getting long wicks to the upside, which tells us there's way more sellers than buyers. And now as the sellers come in, we actually manage to paint downward candles. So it's top heavy. Sounds like it wants to drop. We'll see. Anyway, done on that. So I'm still long on the Dow. The S&P. So if it does break and we do get overwhelmed, then obviously I'll flip short. See, might just be a pullback, but very wicky. US dollar CAD 125 ADR. God, that's moved a quarter of an ADR since it came on. So Aussie dollar, US dollar, potential reversal there. CAD Swiss, M pattern going in right now, up at ADR. So your reversal alert will be there. That's the last down candle before we pushed up into ADR. So that will be your entry short, CAD Swiss. This is also up at last week's high. So it's tapped straight into last week's high and rejected. Big push back down into propulsion, 150 ADR, right? Lots of downside momentum on that one. CAD yen. So again, all these yens, this yen is massively weak today. So all these yens are rallying like crazy. So they're all good mean reversion opportunities. 2 solid upward days. At some point, you're going to get a pullback on this before it tries to put in a new leg. Just turn tick strike off. So yeah, we are ticking up, which is good. So CAD yen. Yeah, again, all these yens, Swiss yen, same thing. Big extensions to the upside, big moves to the upside, coming into resistance on quite a few of these, like the Swiss yen. So good looking opportunities for shorts, but I would not stay in them too long. This yen should be strengthening off the back of what the Bank of Japan did and said last week on Thursday and Friday. And as you can see, when we got the announcement of we're thinking of doing some intervention to rally, the market reacted very positively, bought a load of yen. Then the news came out of their actual monetary policy stance, and the market went, nah, actually, I don't like the look of it. So we just got a V-shaped recovery on these. So there is potential that if the market weakens and they sell the yen off, the Bank of Japan will turn around and do something about it. However, your normal gauge for that is the US dollar yen, and we are not anywhere near the 145 level, which is where we got the last shot across the bow from the Japanese. So there's still a good sort of 3 ADR before we're going to get up to that level and retest that area where they bought the crap out of the yen. So we'll see. But all these yens are good mean reversion opportunities. So US dollar yen, again, there's another one there. Euro yen, pound yen, all yens basically. All ADRs today, all good mean reversion opportunities, all V-shaped recoveries on the move from Thursday. Other than that, we've got Euro Swiss we've looked at already on the hourly. So that's extended to the upside. That's coming down nice and hard now. Could have got out. Never mind. So your 5-minute reversal alert was up there at ADR and just dropping off really hard. I presume that's Swiss franc strength. Strong Swiss franc. So piling out the yen. So basically think about what they did last Thursday. They've put all their money into the yen. Now they're pulling it all out and putting it into the Swiss franc, waiting to see what they want to do with the interest rates this week. So it'll come back, Swissy. Pound odd and pound yen we've looked at. So pound odd extended to the downside. So this is a really good looking buy. I really like the look of this. This pound is bullish, very bullish. There's no reason why we shouldn't remain very bullish. So this week on Thursday, we've got the interest rates coming out for the pound. Yeah, we're going up to 5.25. That's been confirmed. We've got potential for another 0.5 to 1% to go on top of this as well. So we're looking at 5.75 to 6.25 being our terminal rate on the pound. So there's plenty of room to the upside on this pound. We've got more interest rates coming. This should remain bullish. We haven't had any confirmation since the inflation figure came out from Bailey, though, which is why the market, I think, has gone into a bit of a holding pattern on the pound. But as long as we get that 5.25 on Thursday and Bailey doesn't talk the pound down, and there's no reason why he should, we should get another rally coming on this. So basically, if you look at the market structure on this, yeah, so we've got low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. This is where you want to be buying it. Yeah, it's an ADR hit to the downside. So perfect opportunity, drop 5, wait for the 5-minute reversal alert and just start a position. So it looks good for longs, pound odd. Not extended on the RSI though, unfortunately. So this would just be kind of either an intraday and just get out, or get in, get protected when you get up to here somewhere so that you don't get taken out on a pullback and then try and hold it long, because there's no reason why this shouldn't re-challenge that high, which is 125 ADR from where we are now. Look, all the way up there. So we should really break that high. Yeah, market structure's long. You know, no reason why we shouldn't fundamentally either. New Zealand dollar CAD. Ooh. Bye-bye. Stopped out. My God, look at that slippage. Stopped out on the long, slipped short. So that was my entry. That's where I actually got filled. Slipped all the way down to there. Look at that. It's not even the open. That was 15 pip slip. Market's just sold off really hard for some reason. So yeah, NASDAQ short, S&P flip short. Very glad I got out of my Dow. New Zealand dollar CAD. So that's come off of ADR. Longs on this one at the moment. It's in profit. I'm holding it for the moment. So just waiting basically. Canadian dollar unsure, but looking for it to come back up and retest these highs. You can see where my TP is, up at this high. So I'm looking for this to remain range bound basically. Yeah, so we've got obviously market structure at the moment is short on this. Yeah, so there is every opportunity it may well come down and put a new low in which case obviously just scale into one more, and then I would definitely get out at the next exit opportunity to the upside. But also if you come out a little bit further, we are actually potentially putting in a market structure long as well. So we've got that high. We need to go out a little bit more. So we push down. Yeah, we kind of double bottom down there. We put in a new high. So the last market structure was a move to the upside. So potentially this is also pushing to the upside as well. However, this could also be our good old friend, Mr. Head and Shoulders. However, 90% of Head and Shoulders patterns fail. So that's exactly where I would expect everyone to go short. Where's their stops? Up there. Where's the market going to go? Let's get them. So yeah, so good potential long opportunity on this one. So I am in long at the moment. The H1 RSI extension initially was here. And we were looking for that move to the upside, a higher low to be put in, but we didn't. So it's not really going anywhere. So 2 positions on, have been in it now for 2 weeks with 2 positions, which tells you it's not going anywhere. So long on that one at the minute, but that is an ADR short today. So there was your hit straight into ADR. Look, reversal, retest, and coming down nicely. So if you took that one, you're already quids in. New Zealand dollar CAD, New Zealand dollar Swiss. Obviously, we know the Swiss francs having a bit of a rally now, but been very weak today. So New Zealand dollar Swiss hit to the upside. That's 150 ADR. Your initial entry on that one was here, though. So there's your entry now on that one. So that would have been you pretty much break even on the first entry on that. And New Zealand dollar yen we covered. New Zealand dollar US and US CAD. So New Zealand US, same as Aussie US, basically same trade, extended to the upside. Again, there's no real advantage, I don't think, with this US dollar at all at the moment. Just up and down all over the place. So in theory, you can take this in either direction. I'm just taking RSI extensions at the moment, but obviously that's a nice short opportunity. Continuation short. If it doesn't and it pushes up, obviously you could got plenty of highs coming up that you can get out at. So, but US dollar, we've got non-farm payroll this week, so the market's unlikely to put a lot of money into the New Zealand dollar ahead of non-farm, or rather the employment rate. So I'd wait really for that unemployment rate before you start scaling into anything decent size on the US dollar. It's not really worth getting into this week until we get some news. And US dollar CAD. So that was an ADR hit to the downside. And it's still collapsing. Look at that. Very weak US dollar at the open. Indices all over the place today. Absolutely all over the place. Very odd price action today. Very odd. So we just tapped into that initial opening range on the Dow. Not managed to get anywhere. So I think we just had some more RSIs trigger. No, same ones. CAD yen. So getting a little bit closer to that extension, ready for a short on the CAD yen. So probably, I would say, either of these actually. If this yen pushes up for the next hour, I will probably get an entry on Aussie yen, CAD yen, and potentially on New Zealand yen as well. Yeah, all 3 of those very, very, very close to triggering at 75. So there's potentially, if we can get a continuation push on these, I'll be in them. Let me just catch up on the chats. It's Monday, Brian. Just closed NASDAQ long, but forgot to switch from sim to funded. That's silly. Afternoon, Amy. That noise we hear on Financial Juice is the orders going in. Yeah. So this is called tick strike. So this is designed to simulate what's called open outcry, which is the noise of the pits. So in the pits, you would hear people just shouting buy, sell, and shouting numbers. Yeah. And basically, the more volume went through the market, the louder that noise would be. So tick strike basically simulates the electronic open outcry. So order flow going through the market long and short. So it gives you an idea of what volume is going through. So if you hear a lot of upticks, high level ticks, that's loads and loads and loads and loads of buyers. But the idea behind tick strike is to identify I think the best use for tick strike is to identify iceberg orders in the market. So iceberg orders are large institutional traders that are sitting defending a level. If you are buying like crazy and this thing's green and you're hearing nothing but ticks, as we just did a minute ago, yeah, which is why I got out of that DOW. As we heard a minute ago, you got loads of buyers. There it goes, more buyers coming in. And we're not moving up. It means that every single order being placed in the market is being absorbed by a large player. At some point, you will run out of people that want to buy it, and the large player will push them down, and then it will push them down again. And then everybody that's long there will get out and they'll flip back the other way by going short on their order. Because if you've bought it, you've got to sell it to get out. So that increases the volume of shorts. Then you get a load of down ticks and the thing collapses, which is exactly what you saw playing out there. Yeah. Absorption. And then we heard negative ticks coming in and we painted a big black candle. Since then, the market's not looked back. Yeah. That's I think there's lots of uses for it, but I think that's the way I use it anyway. And that's just the S&P 500. You can buy tick strike. It's $90 a month, $99 a month. You get a trial of it as well. But basically, it's only the futures market. So you can see here's all the futures markets. Oh, they do crypto as well now. I wouldn't trust volume in crypto. Yeah, it just gives you a way to listen to the market. Really only useful in futures trading though, and indexes. Swippy today. Hello to my favourite Englishman. Hello to my favourite David. My set ORB Asia on pound CAD today. First position out, 1.75 risk reward. Cool, good job. Retail sentiment is long New Zealand dollar CAD. Yeah, so that will be coming short. New Zealand CAD. So perfect confluence to use there. So if you see the market going one way, New Zealand CAD, there is no retail advantage on that. It's COT, no retail though. New Zealand CAD is equal. It's 55% long, 45% short. So there's no advantage there at all. But if you were, then you'd see it coming down. Out NASDAQ. Afternoon, Neo. Okay, so we're pulling back up into propulsion. So this, obviously, you can see this is basically just one big propulsion gap here. So that's where the sell orders started today. So we're watching that level. You want to put a stop in, as you can see, mine's up there anyway, but outside of that area. So if we are going to make a move to the downside today, we would expect the sellers to step back in propulsion and drive the market away. If we're going to go into rotation, nothing you can do. It'll be one of those sessions. CAD is strong today. CAD's not strong today. New Zealand's pushed up against the CAD, which means CAD would be weak. Pound has pushed down against the CAD, meaning CAD would be strong. Euro's down against the CAD, meaning CAD strong. Aussie is up against the CAD, meaning CAD weak. So there's no advantage specifically to the CAD today. Mixed. if you want to know what strength is, you usually get a reading in the mornings, or is it the afternoons? Afternoons on Financial Juice. They'll give you a what's it called? Strength meter reading. You can tell though. If ever you want to tell if a currency is weak or strong, just go through every one of those currencies. So go through like Aussie. If we want to know what's going on with the Aussie today, Aussie CAD is up. Aussie Swiss is up. Aussie Yen is up. Aussie New Zealand, neutral. Aussie US, up. Aussie strong today. Yeah, it's up against everything. It's not up against New Zealand because it's gone sideways, which tells me the New Zealand is also up today. Because if the Aussie and the New Zealand are pushing at the same speed, they go sideways. Yeah. So if the Aussie's up today and Aussie New Zealand is sideways, the New Zealand must be up. Otherwise, Aussie New Zealand would be going the other way, wouldn't it? One or the other, depending on how strong it is. Oil up, CAD up. Yeah, but CAD's not up, is it? US down, CAD down. You can always combat it with something else. US dollar through the floor. Canadian dollar down. Everything moves off the back of everything else, but yeah, there's no massive advantage either way on anything today. The Aussies are the only things really today that have taken the bull by the horns, and obviously the yen. Everyone's piling out the yen, so people are getting flat ahead of all the news coming up this week. S&P's retesting the opening range low. So if we're going to get market structure holding that high, that'd be high, low. We'll be looking for a lower high in here somewhere, and then a continuation short. So anywhere in here, if we're going to continue with short structure today, is a good sell opportunity. But it's not very big candles, very big wicks today. Tricky market. Amy, what you were saying about that prop firm, make sure you contact them if you're still in here. Because what they've done is they've run an offer which has removed that daily drawdown and increased your overall drawdown. I'm 90% sure if you contact them and say, when I pass my evaluation, could you tell me what the conditions are going to be? And I'm pretty sure they'll tell you that daily drawdown is going back in and that cap is going back to 6% on the overall because it's a special offer. So just check. It's not in any prop firm's interest to not give you a daily drawdown. 90% of evaluations fail on daily drawdown. Yeah. This is why there aren't any prop firms out there that do not have a daily drawdown limit, because that is how they catch everybody. So if they are the first to remove that and they keep it out of the funded account, I'd be interested. But check. And if they don't, let me know, because I'd be good. I reckon you'll find they will reintroduce that. I'm just going short with a small position on the Dow. Out of this propulsion gap, stop above the high on the propulsion. Sorry, stop above the high of the propulsion gap. It's only half position because I don't trust this today. So we're back at the open. Not gone anywhere. So NASDAQ and S&P. That's the open. There. We're back at the open. Not gone anywhere today so far. So literally we've whipped up, whipped down, back to square one. However, there's been more selling than buying. Therefore, I'm short bias, basically. Just had an alert come in there. Pound New Zealand ADR. Sideways. Totally sideways, Pound New Zealand. So look for some longs down here. So you could take an ADR reversal here, long. Obviously wait for the 5-minute reversal alert so you know you've got some buyers on side. It's going to be pretty tight. So there's an ADR hit. Obviously if that doesn't work, scale in half an ADR to 3/4 of an ADR somewhere down here for a second entry. And if you get the second entry and it pushes further, you're coming down into the range support down there. And the pound is bullish. And it should remain bullish. So if they're tanking this ahead of Thursday, hopefully they're tanking it so they can buy it back up cheap on Thursday. Kind of wishing I'd taken a full contract now. Going to add a break of that low. This brings me up to a full size position then. Brian, FX smoothie served on EU RB. Stop trading them, Brian. We've proved it doesn't work. Yeah, another FX smoothie. So break short, break long. You are still long though, aren't you? So if it rallies today, we get, I mean, that's a nice long. There's a big old target there up. So you might get a decent reward out of that today. Just watch it. This is a mess today. This market's a mess. Just can't get anywhere today. Literally, we are back to square one. Either this needs to sell off hard and get going, or I think we're probably going to find we're going to do that sort of rotation day today. But we'll see. We'll give it another half an hour, see if we can get a move to the downside off of it. But otherwise, probably a dud today. Anybody got any other FX pairs they want to look at all? Oil, we're still grinding. If you weren't here this morning in this morning's session, can't get an entry on this. It's just grinding up. I'm waiting for a pullback to jump in long, but I can't get a pullback on it. And there's no point in taking breakouts to the upside because literally, if you look at the breakouts to the upside on this thing at the moment, you broke out, you pulled back by more than you broke out. Yeah. Then you broke out again and you pulled back, went nowhere. Then you broke out. Yeah. So we're literally making a quarter of an ADR of movement every day. It's just not got any momentum at all. So this thing could just grind up for days, basically. We've had more output from Russia, although I'm not sure where they're going to sell their oil because no one in Europe's having it now. But they're ignoring OPEC restrictions, as you'd expect, because they don't do anything anybody says. But this is our target. So there's potential for this just to continuously grind all the way up to that target. So once we get there, I'll be looking for a short entry. But what I'd love to see is some kind of deep, beautiful pullback like that. Some like 1 or 2 days of solid ADR movement back down to just give the market a bit of opportunity to buy it, get it cheap. But at the moment, it's just grinding. So not really interested until we get a pullback on it. Gold. Someone had to say it, didn't they? I haven't had Mr. Wick out for a while. That sounded wrong, didn't it? Gold. So we had a big push on the news to the downside. Obviously, if we're going to get a continuation strength on the US dollar off of the unemployment figures this week, we'll be looking for shorts on gold. But at the moment, we're just doing a V-shaped. Well, it's not even a V-shaped recovery. It's just a near. So structure is definitely short at the moment. So this is a good sell spot. To get that sell, though, you're going to need some US dollar strength. You're not going to find any US dollar strength until Friday, basically, when we get the unemployment figures, because the market's not going to want to put a lot of money in until we know what the unemployment rate's going to be. But we have got unemployment claims to give us a clue on Thursday. We've got the non-farm employment change to give us a clue as to the unemployment claims on Wednesday. And we've obviously got the PMIs tomorrow as well. So there's inflationary figures tomorrow. So if we get much bigger than expected PMIs, we could get a big strong move off this US. So tomorrow afternoon, half an hour after market open, will give us our first clue. If we get bullish figures coming out of that, it would indicate if we get positive PMIs off the back of the positive CPIs, we will get unemployment dropping, which will be positive as well. So it would all be bullish US. But you can't really make any decisions on gold until we've got some more information. So the minute, I'll be looking for more for shorts than longs, assuming that we're going to get US dollar strength. But obviously we don't know. So. Intraday, though, just play range highs and lows or RSI extensions. As usual. Usual stuff. We're just sideways on these indices. Not going anywhere at the minute. We've come off the open on the NASDAQ. So the opening range. Momentum. Brian, need 3R to break even for the day. Last day up over 4K for the month. Cool. Up over 4K for the month. It's working. Thanks for the follow, whoever that was. Aditoisi? I don't know. I'm rubbish with names, especially when they're spelled like that. Welcome aboard, though. Thanks for the follow. I've got $400 risk on this short on the NASDAQ, on the Dow. Sitting in $60 a loss at the minute, not going anywhere at all. So I'm going to reduce risk down to the high of that candle. Just put in an inside bar, basically. So if this inside bar breaks to the upside, it's not indicative of short momentum. If it breaks to the downside, it is indicative of short momentum. So I'm just going to put my stop above the high of that candle that's just gone in. It's either going to go or it's not. If it's going to go sideways and muck about like this all day, I'm just not interested. No point. So I either want to see some sellers take control of this market, which they haven't for the last 15 minutes, or get out, because we're an hour in, we're not gone anywhere yet. So pointless trying. You're forgiven. Did I get it pretty much right then? Jerry, I tested ORB on FX for 6 months. The only one working for me was a pound CAD and Euro CAD. That's curve fit then, Jerry, isn't it? It's not an FX strategy. Never designed to be, never tested to be. It's just not designed for Forex. The whole premise of the opening range breakout EA and strategy is that we know the edge. What is the edge? Volume. We know exactly when that volume is hitting. There is no volume in the FX market at any time that gives you an edge. The edge of this strategy is we know there's a volume spike coming in the indices. There isn't one in FX. So the whole purpose of testing it on Forex is mute. There's no edge. It's just a breakout strategy. And if that's the case, fine. Obviously, it is just a breakout strategy. But if you've tested it for 6 months on multiple FX pairs and you've only got 2 that are working and they're both CAD crosses, that tells you you've just created a curve fit strategy and that will fail in the future. Don't work. Take that 6 months of testing with that pound CAD and that euro CAD, whatever settings you're using, and test it over 5 years ago, the past 5 years. If it doesn't give you a positive return every year, scrap it. It doesn't work. Or at least do a system parameter permutation test on it and see if there is a long-term edge with multiple settings. Oh, like pulling teeth. Just watching my P&L go up and down and up and down. S&P's broken the high of that 5. We got an inside bar on an inside bar now, so it's a 2 IB setup, 2 inside bar. There's contraction. After contraction comes explosion. One way or the other. Amy, so you are right. They will reduce the drawdown from 8 to 6%, but no smaller daily drawdown. So there is no daily drawdown when you get funded, but they will put the max drawdown to 6%. That's all right. If there's no daily drawdown, that's a big advantage. But the trouble is that firm is so expensive. Yeah, they're $100. They're 20% more expensive than the other prop firms. So if you're only doing 1 evaluation or 2 evaluations a month, that's not a problem. Doing 10 evaluations a month, that's going to cost you an extra $1,000. Mind you, it's not the end of the world, is it? But just expensive. I'm aging watching these indices. Yeah, so am I. I'm out. No, I'm not. I'm not out. I'm almost out. I got $250 risk on this now. That's it. I'm not. I've done 2250 today. Got 250 risk on it, so I'll walk away with $2,000. Or I'll add. I'm still going to add. If we break this low, I'm still going to add to the 2 more contracts on here. Sure. At the moment, you get 20%, but the leverage is very low. Yeah, this is the other trouble with that company. They give you 1 to 10. This is what I say. You know, I've said it in here many times, and you've heard me say it, haven't you? Every new prop firm that comes along cannot beat these guys or these guys, because none of them have a better evaluation set of rules than those guys, and none of them are cheaper. So that company has dropped the daily drawdown, and that is an advantage, but they've dropped your leverage to 1 to 10. You can't even trade indices with 1 to 10 leverage. If you want, like this contract or this trade that I've got on at the moment on the Dow, yeah? If I wanted to go 1% short on this here, and then I wanted to add another trade there to add to my winning trade because it's working, add to it to make more money, you can't. You can't trade with 1 to 10 leverage. There's not enough. So they take with one hand and they give with another. Yeah, so here you go. No daily drawdown. But, sorry, you only get 1 to 10 leverage, which is pretty much untradeable. Oh, and by the way, we're $100 more expensive than the other guys. Yeah. Still can't beat these guys. There's nothing that beats it. There's now no maximum days. Yeah. Your maximum loss is higher than everybody else's. Your daily drawdown is the same as everybody else's. Pretty much. That's not the daily drawdown. Sorry. There, 5%. Everybody's 5%. Just accept it. If you want to, I'm out. on the Dow. Done for the day. I'm not mucking about with this market anymore. It's an utter waste of time today. So yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, just not enough leverage. Who is the prop? The prop? That's like saying who is the GOAT? I don't know. Prop firms. Firms that give you money to trade. Yeah, my Forex funds. They're the ones that I use. My Forex funds and EA. For CFDs, for futures, I use either Top Step or Take Profit Trader. So it looks like it's going to be double-ended stop out potentially on this S&P. So there's my last chance for a short play to work. Obviously, if it comes up to here, we're range bound. So Dow literally has just stopped me out there. No point in putting any risk on this. Look at it. Half an hour. Literally haven't gone anywhere. It's dead today. Totally dead. Euro odd ADR. ADR hit on the Euro odd. Again, that's a really nice looking long opportunity into propulsion. New high formed. Yeah. So there's your high, low, higher low. Looking for a, sorry, high, low, higher high. Looking for a higher low for a long. Good looking opportunity for a long. Euro Swiss, look at it. Collapsed. Really weak euro at the minute. Hunting out the euro for some reason. Currency strength meter, that's what I was trying to find earlier. That's the point. We haven't had a currency strength meter today, have we? They've stopped doing it. We get one last week. No, they've dumped it. They're not doing the currency strength anymore. Maybe they've realized that it is actually utterly useless. I haven't really noticed, but we haven't had a currency strength meter for the last week. Good for them. Pointless. Right. You are right, like always. I know, Amy, I'm always right. I don't know everything, and I admit when I'm wrong. It's not very wrong, very often. Indices basically swept both sides, taking orders out today. Yeah, it's a rotation day today. Aussie US 125. All the money's in FX today. Nothing in the stock market. So Euro Swiss dropped back down into 1% drawdown on this one now. So hopefully, this is kind of what I was expecting to happen. And it's really annoying because I had an out at 0.5% there and I didn't take it today. So I've still got a buy in profit here. So I'm not going to be adding anything to this. If we get back down to this range low again sometime in the next couple of days, I will add in again and do the aggressive drawdown control again, down up for a range low bounce. But I'm hoping this is the start of a push and we're just going to pull back and long it. So they're driving short. What's the sentiment on Euro Swiss at the moment? Yeah, I mean, COT is a long, definite long. Euro Swiss, 63% of the market are long. So not looking good for a long at the moment, is it? Everybody's long in it. So okay, propulsion gaps filled on the S&P. So that's it. This doesn't hold here. There's no chance of getting another leg down, I don't think. So we'll see if that holds. But it's just whippy. So I'm going to call it a day there. I'm not going to trade anymore on that. There's no point. So I'm short S&P. So either the S&P drops and we're done, or it doesn't. And I'm not. But all they're doing at the moment is holding pattern. You had more money to make out of this thing this morning in the Globex session. More movement in Globex than in the New York Open. Now it's dropping down, look. There we go. So we've got an bearish outside bar form, and we've got 2 minutes left on this candle. That forms as a bear. This is basically an addition back at there. They're adding, look. So potentially adding back in now at that level. So we might get a move to the downside. Target on that S&P. $700 down. So that is $1,200. So that TP there, which is down at this low, you can't quite see it. So Globex low today, that's worth $1,200. So if we can get down there, I'll be net 500. But I'll take the whole lot off down there. I won't take that one and try and hold it. I'll take the whole lot. We can get down there. So all we're looking for is a small breakout the low. Down into there. I think that'll be pretty much all you get. Big if today. Right, that's all I've got for today. So there's no more exposure. Euro New Zealand ADR. So again, euro dropping. I've got no more exposure got on today. There's no RSI extensions at all. So, well, there's 3, but there's nothing extended over here yet. So there's a possibility I might get into some yen today. So any of these yens, this CAD yen that gets extended, if we get a push further up into 150, 175 range, we might get an RSI extension for a short, which would be a lovely, easy, quick in and out, I reckon. But apart from that, I'm not looking to get into anything else at the moment. And it's non-fold payroll week. So we may well just get this whole thing reversed on Wednesday if it continues to push the same way tomorrow. So just waiting, really, see what happens. But nothing exciting today, unfortunately. Well, banked. So that's exciting. So my month is going to end at the moment on 24%. Pretty good. Happy with that. Considering I made 4.5% loss last month. So, yeah, up 20% on the 2 months, which is 10% a month on average, which is typical. Indices basically swept. Oh, yeah, I've already said that. Indices swept both ways. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:50, same time for the Frankfurt session. We'll trade the DAX. Then back tomorrow afternoon, same time, 2:20 for the US session. And hopefully we'll get some movement. Tomorrow we have got some news. So we've got Caterpillar, Merck, and Pfizer pre-market, and then we get the few decent stocks after market tomorrow. So it'll all start to pick up. We got news. So, oh yeah, Aussies. Sorry, before I go, don't forget that, for God's sake. Aussie rates going up tomorrow morning. So if you've got any Aussie exposure, which I have on the New Zealand at the moment, so any New Zealand or Aussie dollar, they will both move with each other. So any New Zealand dollar exposure you've got or Aussie dollar exposure you've got profit-wise, just before the end of close today, if you're going to bed and you're not going to be up for the news, just bank it. So that 200, let's say, for example, this is, I'm going to bed in an hour. That 220 goes down there. That will either then go into drawdown tomorrow morning, or it will hit target tomorrow morning and I'll be out of that and that'll be down there as well. Yeah. But I'm not going to run the risk of that turning into a negative. Yeah. If you've got green ahead of news, get it in your bank, because you can't get it back. You can bank it. If it goes into drawdown, you've lost it. And you've got to work hard to get it back again. So take it. Everything will probably move a little bit tomorrow off the Aussie, but it'll be the Aussie and the New Zealand which will really benefit. Assuming it does. Obviously, at the moment, this is an interest rate announcement, and the Aussies are doing very, very bad off their interest rates. So New window. So we're sitting up at 6% on inflation. Yeah, 4.35. Damn right, they should be putting it up. They missed the boat last time Aussie collapsed. So hopefully that 4.35 is enough to rally the Aussie. It may not be. The market might not look at it and go, yeah, don't like it. And we'll get a little drop. But we'll wait and see what happens. So today we've had a nice rally. Potentially them just unwinding ahead of the news tomorrow morning. So you should hopefully be out of Aussies and New Zealand's because we've had a decent amount of movement up and down over the last week. So there's been plenty of opportunities to escape all the trades. But we'll see. So, all right, that's it for today. Remember, take some good cheese before to get good deserved rest. Some good cheese. Cheese just gives you cheese dreams, doesn't it? Cheese sweats and cheese dreams. Don't like cheese before bed. That gives you gives me cheese sweats. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave it there on that thought of cheese and me sweating. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Good luck this evening and with the Aussie dollar news. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good evening.